You changed. You say hi?
Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? All right. Good. Appreciate everybody being here. Love walking in here with a win. We are going to enjoy wins around here. I'm not going to become one of these coaches that the losses hurt more than the wins feel good. So we're going to enjoy them, and that's everybody. Everybody is a part of this win, the coaches, the players, the doctors, the trainers, the academic support, the fans, the local media, everybody. Everybody's a part of this win today, and we're going to enjoy it. I thought we did some really nice things on defense. We weren't able to get off the field like we were last week with the 3 and outs and the turnovers. That's something that we need to do a better job of, is getting turnovers. But whenever you hold an opponent like we did, I thought Akron's a good team. I think they're well coached. I think they got really good speed and athleticism. I think the quarterback's a really good player, and I think we held them, to 3 points. So I think that was a real positive. Offensively, we need to improve the running game. There's no doubt about it. We got to get that going, but we were still able to make plays and get some points on the board. I think special teams overall, I think we punted really well. You look at Gula averaging 48.8 yards, was able to pin them deep and ball location and things like that. We got to find a way to make some more plays as well. So overall, good things. Hack broke the Penn State record for consecutive games with 773 yards. Jesse James, first game in his career with 2 touchdown catches. Mike Hull with over 10-plus catches. The thing I'm going to wait and watch the film. One of the areas I think we're going to have to do a better job of is that's playing guys. We're not getting enough people in the games. At least that's what my gut tells me after watching it. We're going to go back and evaluate it, but we got to play more guys, which I think will make us more effective in the fourth quarter, and I think that will allow us to stay fresh throughout the year. So I open it up to questions.
Okay, raise your hand. We have 2 microphones, please.
James, considering you guys were coming off the trip to Ireland and considering their experience, how concerned were you about this game?
I was very concerned because I think that when you watched them on film, they were fast. They were good schemes. The coaches had them, really, they were sound in everything that they were doing, and they made you fight for yards based on their scheme. And you watch that team, very similar veteran team that went to the Big House last year, and it took those guys the final second to beat them. So that's an experienced a team who's well coached and athletic. I knew we were going to have to play well. We're going to have to eliminate the turnovers. That's something that we're going to have to do. I thought the penalties were better this week, but we're going to have to eliminate the turnovers.
Hey, Coach. From what you could see field level, what do you think right now is plaguing your running game?
Well, I think it's just the consistency. We don't have the experience of a group of guys that have been working together for a long time. That's going to come. What I said to the guys in the locker room is there's things that we got to get corrected. What I'm happy is we're 1-0 and we're undefeated this week. We have to get better. There's no doubt about it. That's an area that we're going to have to improve is in the running game. It's everything. It's never one thing in life. It's a combination of things. It's communication. It's trusting one another. It's effort. It's execution. It's the whole deal. But we're just our thing is we're just going to keep getting better every single week and keep getting better every single day. And I think when you do that, you'll like the results.
Hey, Coach in the back.
How are you? Good. I love the enthusiasm.
They caught you on the Jumbotron pregame in the tunnel, and you kind of were looking around at the fans a little bit, taking it in. Can you give me an idea of what emotions you were going through right then?
That running out in the tunnel, I was pretty much in game mode at that time. But I'll tell you what, getting off that bus with the extended tradition that we've added, walking into the stadium. I'm an emotional guy, and I was fighting back my emotions the whole time, getting a chance to see my girls as soon as I got off the bus and walking with them and watching the fans and the community support these guys. It's an unbelievable experience. So I was fighting back my emotion. The sunglasses helped.
James, 4 interceptions through 2 games. Is decision-making of the quarterback a concern of all, or are you happy with him trying to make plays that way?
No, I think when you have quarterbacks that have really strong arms and believe in themselves and talent, they're going to try to make some throws that probably other quarterbacks don't. This is part of the growth process. We'll get it resolved. Hack, I think, has got a chance to be really, really special. That's an area that we're going to have to work on. But, there's a lot of things that go into it. There's protection is a part of it. Consistently running our routes the way they're supposed to be run. It's never all Hack when things go well, and it's never Hack when you have turnovers like that. But he knows just as well as the rest of us do that we got to clean those things up. There's no doubt.
Coach, defense played very well today, only giving up 3 points. How do you feel overall that the defense did, and what do they need to do to improve to, possibly get the shutout today?
Yeah, I think they're playing well. Probably the points that I've already made is we got to create more 3 and outs, and we got to create more turnovers. That's what we have to do. Those 2 things. I think they had a good plan. They were getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. That was part of their plan. They ran a bunch of zone reads. With the dump passes off of it, so I thought they had a good plan. But we got to get turnovers, and we got to create more 3 and outs. Those 2 areas.
Hey, James. Also a pregame question. I saw after you walked into the stadium, you did kind of walked a lap around the field. Did you do that before every game, or was that just because it was your first game? Or
you talking about when I first got here, once we went out?
When you first got here and you were in your suit still and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I always do that.
How come?
I did it once, and I'm a creature of habit, so I continue to do it. I mean, nothing more. I've always done it. I get to the stadium while all the coaches are getting changed. I just kind of take a lap around the stadium and check it out, measure the fields, make sure it's 100 yards long, and like the old Hoosiers deal, get the tape measure out. It's just something I've always done.
Like back to your assistant days, even.
I don't know. I think most coaches do go out and check the stadium out, but I know I've done it since I've been a head coach.
James, for the second straight week, Hamilton and Lewis came up big for you guys. How important are they to this team right now, and how far have you seen them come since you got here in January?
Yeah, they've done a great job. They've made big-time plays. Typically what's happened right now, they're either catching the ball or we're getting interference calls, which has got to be your mentality as a receiver. We're going to have to continue to develop other guys. We need Zanny to make plays. We need Saeed to make plays, and Godwin, and they are. Jasicki and the tight ends as well. But I've been pleased. I've been pleased with them. I think the fact that we got 2 guys right now that are making plays, that causes issues when you're a defensive coordinator watching our tape. It's not just one guy you're trying to stop. And then obviously you get the running game going. I think that's what you saw there at the end of the game with the play to Jesse. We were finally able to establish the running game and get it going. And then what happens is now you go play action and guys are wide open. So that's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. It's going to help the tight ends. It's going to help everybody out once we're able to establish the running game.
James, 2 weeks in a row, you guys have been pretty good in first and goal, short yardage defense. Can you talk a little bit about that, those characteristics your defense has shown?
Very, very pleased with our defense. They've done the things that you need to do, which is keep people out of the end zone. I'd like to see us block a field goal. That's one thing we haven't done yet, but we've been really good in short yardage situations. We're big, we're physical. Having a guy like AJ who's 6'4", 313 pounds right at the point of attack is really helpful. Big people help. And then you got Zettel. He's so active in there, and I think Dion and CJ. I don't know how many sacks they had today, but they've been really good against the run and real physical. So I've been pleased. I've been pleased with our D-line. I've been pleased with our linebacker. I think we can tighten up a few more things from a coverage perspective, but overall, that was a huge play in the game.
Coach, you talked about the run game being a little bit of a struggle for you guys.
Where are you?
Back here.
Oh, hi.
You talked about the run game being a little bit of a struggle for you guys early on. It seemed to kick in when you put the Wildcat into place, and for most that's just a small wrinkle, but you made it into an entire drive. How much of a part of your offense do you see that going forward?
I think it's going to be a big part of the offense. I know people seem to hate the Wildcat. I love it. We're going to do whatever we have to do to get numbers. We were able to do that. It was really good with Zwinnick in there. I thought Akili even did some nice things. We want to continue to be able to do that. That's a way to be physical and kind of impose your will in the running game. And we got a few wrinkles all for that as well. But, we'd love for that to grow as well as our traditional offenses.
James, what was it like to have the 1994 players back today?
It was awesome. I didn't really get a chance, obviously, to spend a whole lot of time with them today. The 1994 undefeated national championship team that we had here. They did come out to practice on Friday, which was awesome. What we did was they were out for practice, and at the end of practice, we broke up by position, and those guys broke down with us, which was really, really cool. And as you guys know, that's something that's been really important to us from day one. For the last 80 years, players could come back, and it was the same coaches, and there was a real sense of family and a real sense of home, and we want that as well. So, making sure when those guys come, they know how much we appreciate them and what a big part they are of our family and our traditions and our history. That's been good. A bunch of those guys came into my office, Kerry Collins and a bunch of the guys, so, that's a big part of who we are. We want to continue to build on that.
James, you said a little bit ago that the Wildcat, a lot of people don't like it. Who do you think doesn't like it, or have you heard maybe from fans or any of the, anything like that? And also, what excites you about using the Wildcat with this personnel that you have?
I read everything. I'm not one of those coaches that say they don't read. I read it all. I don't think you like it, to be honest with you. I've read a couple of your columns. Our thing is we like things that work. And we're going to invest in things that give us an advantage. We think that's one of those things. You have to have some wrinkles off of it and things like that. But yeah, I read everything. I want to know what's going on. I watch all our players' interviews. I think it's a great opportunity to help those guys and educate those guys. I watch all my interviews and critique myself. I read as much as I possibly can because I want to understand what's going on. I want to understand the pulse. So yeah. I'm pretty tuned in to most things that are going on in our program.
Take two more.
You mentioned you wanted to play more people. Is that something you were conscious of during the game, and did you think the heat out there made that situation any more delicate?
No, I noticed it late in the game where some guys that I thought were going to be in hadn't really got in yet, and that happens with coaches. The game's not going the way you maybe think it should go, and coaches start to get a little bit tight, and then you leave guys in for longer than they should be in. And we have plans beforehand, and we say, guys, you're going to play this amount of reps, whether it's 2-to-1 with their backup or 3-to-1 with their backup or 4-to-1. And that's a huge mistake that I think coaching staffs make is you leave guys in, and yeah, it may help you on a few plays, but it hurts you in the fourth quarter, and it hurts you late in the season. We want to continue to develop depth. And as you guys know, depth is something we've been talking about for a while. Well, the only way you're going to develop depth is by playing guys and give them opportunities.
Coach, in the back here, Grant Haley got a lot of time in the defense today. What did you see from him, and is he a part of the conversation now in the defense backfield?
Yeah, he played a lot week one. He's going to play a lot. He played a lot at week two, and his role is going to continue to grow. He's a guy that I think the coaches trust right now by how he prepares and how he works. But there's other guys as well. He's doing a great job as a kickoff return guy. He brings an element there of speed. But I think his package is going to continue to grow. But we need other guys as well. Can I take one more, Jeff? Yeah, one more.
Akeel Lynch gave you a big boost today. What did you see from him that made him effective? And having that kind of performance with him, does that enhance his chances of getting out there maybe even more, even earlier in the game?
I'm going to have to watch the tape, but I think you have to be careful because what happens a lot of times, and I think we're having a little bit of that right now, you start getting frustrated with things, so guys start to try to do their own things and try to create plays. That happens up front, that happens at running back, that happens at a lot of positions. You start to try to go outside of the system. And we just got to be disciplined. We just got to keep working at it. And Akeel coming in there was able to do some things. I thought Zwinnick really hit it downhill. I think there's times where Bill's just got to trust it. In his defense, there's times where he was making people miss in the backfield, and that makes it difficult. But I've been pleased overall with those guys, and I think Akeel, we need his package to continue to grow. So thanks, guys. You say thank you?
Thank you.
Say thank you.